All right guys, welcome back. My name is Steve with LRM Leasing. Today we're going to talk about the soot sensor. I had a customer reach out and wants to know where it's at. So if you guys see in my hands, I have two different kinds. The reason why I'm saying two different kinds is because one's a soot sensor and one is not. Just to make sure we don't have any confusion, we know what's what. The good news is today, right behind me, I have a Freightliner Cascadia up in the air so that myself and camera crew don't have to get dirty today. What we're going to talk about is the little black box. This is your soot sensor, right? And what you're going to need is you're going to need a 22 millimeter to remove this bad boy. If you guys can handle it, get your truck, run it up to operating temperatures because we want the metal to be hot. Try not to burn yourself, but get a socket on it and I'll show you what the socket will look like. And then you're going to remove it. Usually when it's hot, it's a lot easier to remove it. Now, sometimes that's never the case, but you can always try. But if it can't get it out with the specialty socket, the next thing you would do is cut it off the end and then put a socket that goes around it completely. Now the specialty socket has a little slot so the wire you can move when you churn it, right? So sometimes you can save them, sometimes you can't. At the end of the day it's all about getting it out and getting back on the road. So cutty and then use the socket and then work it slowly to get it out. What we're gonna do now is get underneath this truck. I'm gonna show you where the soot sensor is located. And just so you guys know, it's on the back end of the one box, the tail shaft area. So there's two sensors. They're very close to each other. You have a soot sensor and then you have a knock sensor. The one closer towards going all the way out will be your knock sensor. The one a little bit closer to the box at the end will be your soot sensor. Let's walk underneath this truck and let's see where that soot sensor is located. Let's go, guys. All right, guys, now that we have walked underneath this truck and I have it lit up in this area, I gotta make one small correction. So the socket sizes that I told you, I wanna be very clear, and I was wrong a second ago. It's actually, you're gonna need a 15/16, and as you can see, the socket has a little slot. And just remember, like I said, if you can get the truck hot enough, please be very careful when it's time to take it off. Do as much as you can handle. If you can't, totally understand. But this is your exhaust pipe right here. Be very careful, it'll be hot. Once you get it on the soot sensor part, then you're gonna put a ratchet up on here. This one takes a 3H drive, and then you just pop it free. Now, again, like I said, the soot sensor is gonna be the one further away from the tail shaft area. This is the tail area, right? The out. So the soot sensor is gonna be closer to the box. So it's gonna be this bad boy here. They are color coordinated. If you look at it, the soot sensor, my cord is black, and then my knock sensor is gray. Unfortunately, this truck, someone had a great idea to give it a paint job, and they painted it blue. The knock sensor someone has replaced, and the cord is gray. So we can tell the difference a little bit there, and I'm pretty sure if you follow it further back, you'll see where the loom part will be black. For your guys' information, now you know the location. Soot sensor closer towards the box, and knock sensor further away. So again, you're gonna need a socket 15/16. You're gonna put it right over your soot sensor, and it's gonna go right down on it, and then the cable comes right out, as you can see. And then you just break it free. And again, just be careful because everything will be hot, and that's the best way. If not, then hit it with some PB blaster, let it sit overnight or as long as you can. But to be honest, if you wanna get it out a little faster, like I said, cut the end and put a whole socket on it, which would be a 15/16, and then slowly work it back and forth, because the first thing you don't want to do is just pull it out and then rip all the threads out. That's a big no-no. That's gonna be very expensive because now they gotta pull the whole box down and weld a new bung on there for the sensor. So just take your time. You go a little bit, you give a little. Go a little, give a little. Just remember that. And then it's the same concept for the knock sensor. The only difference is you'll use a 22 millimeter socket to take it off. And again, it's slotted and it will slide right over just like so. Very easy. All right, guys? So those are the locations for your knock sensor and your soot sensor. And remember, safety, be careful, do not burn yourself. You will get a 3rd-degree burn if you're not being careful. All right? So those are the locations for your soot sensor, knock sensor. Recap: soot, black wire; knocks, gray wire. All right, guys, so just again, recap: soot sensor closer to the box, knock sensor further away towards the tailpipe area. If you guys have any questions or any concerns, guys, leave me a comment at the bottom. If you guys like what you saw today, pound that like button. And then if you guys want any more information, even locations of stuff, subscribe. Love to get that information to you and save you some money. See you guys around.